Embark on an ancient journey with me as I unravel the mystery behind an ancient practice that connects us with spiritual guidance, natural wisdom, and soul level healing. In today's video, I'm going to attempt to address the question that I personally hear all of the time. And that question is, Maestra, what even is shamanism? First of all, let me go ahead and introduce myself. It's been a while. I'm so happy to be back, to be in front of my community again. Some of you know I've had quite the trying time recently, and with personal illness, with a couple of losses in my family. So I've received nothing but love and consideration and support from the community during my time away, and I really do appreciate it. But I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Maestra, which means teacher or instructor in Spanish, Shamanic Wyzdom DVine. Wyzdom DVine is my healer's name, and Heals the Mother is my shamanic name. And I am a shamanic healer, an instructor, and a spiritual minister, mentor, and many other things. Shamanic Reiki practitioner, Reiki master teacher, and I have a lot of other credentials and things that I study. Mystic. I am a student of life, of the universe, lifelong, forever. I wear many hats. I do many things, as I'm sure many of you do that subscribe to this channel as well. So if you are my subscriber, you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is the first time that you are checking out one of my videos and tuning in, I really appreciate you and welcome. I really appreciate all of your support. It doesn't take too much. You can just like this video if you feel like I'm giving you really good content. If you really want to get more information and keep following along with me, you would hit subscribe, which would be really, really awesome. And if you want more content like this and you want to be notified when I put out my next video, you'll go ahead and click the little ringy bell thingy so that you'll be notified when I put out videos. I really do appreciate it. But back now, ready to get into a new video for today. I've been putting this one together for a long time. I'm so excited to finally dive into it because I know I get this question all the time. Even from students that are taking the class, they don't know exactly how to describe what it is. And I get it in the comment section and in emails from clients all of the time. So now we'll go ahead and have this information all kind of put together in one place and get this kind of started off. And I'll make more videos like this. If you have questions that you'd like me to answer and like me to address, please feel free to put them in the comments of this video below. So let's get into it. I'm going to describe to you the elements that people who practice the shamanic path have in common around the world and give you a brief explanation of how classic shamanism and neo-shamanism differ today. Okay, first of all, let's get into a definition, okay? A basic definition of what shamanism is. Shamanism is a spiritual and healing practice that has been present in various cultures around the world for thousands of years. It involves a practitioner known as a shaman. So that's when we are directly in the shamanic culture and the shamanic communities, or we're talking about antiquity, the ancient, we would call them the shaman. But here in today's day and age, in this world now, we call ourselves shamanic practitioners. So the shaman or the shamanic practitioner who acts as an intermediary between the human and spirit realms. Shamans often are seen as healers, guides, and keepers of ancient wisdom. And if you have taken any classes with me or you want to learn more about this, and I'll tell you about how you can find out more through my mystery school, and I have a class, Intro to Shamanism. If you'd like to learn more, you'll learn about other things as well that we have been known as, that shamanic practitioners and shamans have been known as, including even sometimes the first politicians in history. So that is a basic definition of what shamanism is. It's a spiritual and healing practice in which there is a expert or a intermediary or practitioner that is deemed the shaman or the shamanic practitioner, and they act as an intermediary between this world, our ordinary / physical world, and our non-ordinary / spiritual realm or shamanic realm. I just want to make sure to let you know, it's really important to note that shamanism takes different forms across cultures and regions, each with its own unique practices and beliefs and rituals. While some of the unique shamanic practices that we have around the world will have some similarities, which we're going to talk about the similarities now, they are also deeply influenced by their cultural and geographical context in which they originate. So you might hear some things I'm saying today, and you'll say that, well, I know of this other shamanic culture, shamanic practice, shamanic people, and they do things a little bit differently. And that's okay, because it's going to be influenced by the culture in which this originates from, the type of shamanic culture that they are, shamanic community that they are, and it's going to be influenced by where they are located geographically. All right, so let's get into the key elements of shamanism. Okay, so number one, the first element that all shamanic practices have in common is journeying. Shamans enter an altered state of consciousness, often through drumming, chanting, or other techniques to connect with spirit guides and ancestors and other non-physical entities. So when a shamanic practitioner or a shaman goes into a journey, they go to a non-reality place. So we call this the shamanic realm or the spirit realm. And we go there so that we can get guidance, insights, perform healings on a soul level, and interact with your spirit guides, your ancestors, my spirit guides, my ancestors, and we come together in the spirit realm. I meet with you in spirit form, my clients, my students, whoever I'm taking a journey for, or the community at large, or the planet at large. We go to these non-reality places in shamanic journeying, and we perform these healings and we retrieve guidance on your behalf. Okay, number two, second element, key element that all shamanic cultures and practices have in common are spiritual realms. Shamans believe in multiple realms of existence beyond the physical world, which is what I was just talking about, including the spirit world, where they interact with spirit deities and energies. And you might have heard of the shamanic realm being broken down into three parts, distinctive areas, which would be upper world, middle world, and lower world. And these are all a part of the shamanic realm or the spirit realm. Okay, number three, healing. Shamanic healing involves addressing imbalances and illnesses on both physical and spiritual levels. Shamans have various techniques such as energy work, herbs, rituals, and ceremonies to facilitate healing. So some type of healing happens when you are practicing shamanism. It's something that they all believe in. And in our case, we like to go to the spirit realm and do soul level healing first. So if you come to me on an ailment, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be wondering not just the physical ailment that's happening to you, or not just the physical issue that's happening for you. So that could be in your body, or it could be in your life, right? Like turmoil at work, not being able to find work, not being able to sell your house, starting a new business. These situations can be things that have a soul and a spirit as well. So I would go and find out energetically what's going on with you. And I would go into journey, and we would go and find out at the root of that, on the spiritual side of things, what could possibly be happening. And a lot of us kind of like know some of these things on a basic level. So you might have heard, if somebody is having a problem with speaking up for themselves, they might say, oh, that's a problem with the throat chakra, or that's a problem with your solar plexus. And so we kind of understand that energetically there are metaphysical reasons, not just physical reasons behind certain things. Well, in shamanism, we go into our spiritual realms and we attack or address those issues on the soul level first, that then have a trickle up effect or a trickle over effect, that come on the other side of the veil to have a physical reaction as well. So we can spiritually remove something that is blocking your way, and in the physical realm, you do notice that paths are now open for you. Okay, number 4, nature and animism. Many shamanic practices emphasize a deep connection to nature and view all things as interconnected and imbued with the spirit of energy. I was just talking about this with my husband earlier today. So it is my belief that everything either has a spirit or some type of spiritual experience involved in it. So yes, you will hear me talking to inanimate objects. You will hear me addressing the trees and the plants in the sky. You will hear me talking to the food that I'm cooking, all like I'm talking to family members, all like I'm talking to regular people all the time on a regular basis. Because of animism, we believe that everything has a spirit or some type of spiritual connection, some type of spiritual experience connected to it. Okay, number 5. The 5th thing that is the key element of shamanic practices are rituals and ceremonies. Shamanic rituals and ceremonies are performed for various purposes, such as healing, protection, guidance, and celebration. These ceremonies often involve music, dance, chanting, and the use of sacred objects. So we have drumming, we have rattles, we have sacred foods, we have crystals, we have charged water, we have salt for protection. We use different items and we create ceremonies out of things, and we make a ritual out of things. So some type of ritualistic practicing and bringing forth the ceremony. It could be as simple as putting Reiki into the food you're about to eat and thanking all of the hands that have touched the food that you're going to eat and made it possible to where you have this plate in front of you. And I'm sure a lot of you practice in that in some kind of way as well. A lot of the things that we do are actually rituals, like birthday parties and trimming the Christmas tree. Many of us have these ceremonies and rituals that we don't even realize that we actually perform, and that's what it is. It actually came from our ancestors, though. It actually came from the ancients, the old ones, the elders. They passed those things on, and then it's kind of like playing telephone. Over the years, we've heard different reasons why we do it, and we've lost that connection to nature and the ceremony, the ritual of it. But that's where most of this stuff comes from. It is something that we were doing in the past when we were still in these indigenous societies, where we were still connected to nature and practicing some form of shamanism. I also want to take a moment and just note that I'm calling it shamanism because these are shamanic aspects that we're talking about, and the word shamanism is kind of getting to be to the point where it's more well known. But if you go to these different cultures, different parts of the world, on every continent where shamanism was pretty much explored and practiced in some kind of way all throughout history, it exists on every continent. You guys have heard me say this before. A lot of us have a connection. Most of us have a connection some kind of way with shamanism, whether our ancestors were in the community or were actual medicine men and women and healers themselves. So they would have been called different things. We're using the word shamanic practitioner, shaman, and shamanism because it's kind of an all-encompassing umbrella now. But what we're really talking about is a spiritual practice that has these elements in them. If they have all of these elements in common, then we call them a type of shamanic spiritual practice. Okay, number 6, Symbolism and mythology. Shamanism often incorporates symbolism, mythology, and storytelling to convey spiritual teachings and insights. So, shamans have some kind of way to spirit animals, the stories that you might heard of, different stories of creation, the different stories of how this animal got to be how it was, or how something came to be. There's lots of different types of symbolism and some type of mythology, different deities, different spirits, different saints, depending again on the region where this is practiced. All of that would be different. The stories would be different. The context would be different. So if you're looking at Celtic shamanism, it would be their stories and their animals and their symbolism would be much different than in Tibetan shamanism, where they would also have creation stories and animals and spirits, but theirs would be different. They wouldn't have the exact same stories. That makes sense. Okay. Number 7, personal growth and transformation. Shamanic practices are often used for personal growth, self-discovery, and spiritual evolution. They can help individuals connect with their inner selves and explore their potential. A lot of times that you will see in different symbols and things and texts where you see that they're talking about shamanism, you'll see the spiral. I use the spiral in every single one of the covers of my journals for classes that I teach. So my shamanic training, level 1, level 2, level 3, all of them have a spiral incorporated in there somewhere. The reason is the spiral at one point in time was considered a symbol of self-exploration, taking that journey to where you go inner. When you finally get to the center of that spiral, you are at the center of yourself, where you need to do the most exploring, because exploring everything and understanding everything means that you must also understand yourself. You are a part of the universe, as within, so without, as above, so below. So we do believe that in the shamanic practices, in the shamanic spirituality, we believe that you have an inner exploration as well as an outer exploration. You learn about upper world, middle world, lower world, but you also learn about your higher consciousness, your middle consciousness, and your connection to the earth and the lower vibrations. So all of these things are always interconnected. You are a representation of your universe at large. And so the way that I teach shamanism is that beginners level 1 is called the personal path, because you're learning about it for yourself first. How do I apply these tools? How do I learn how to do shamanic journey and talk to spirit guides and bring this beautiful practice, the ceremony, the lighting of the candles, the different things, and what do they mean, the symbolism, home for me, so that it is a healing practice and a way for me to connect with my ancestors and with my lineage first and foremost. Then once I get that foundation, then we would go to level 2, and level 2 is the practitioner's path. That's when you're learning how to take the things you're learning for you and you put them on to other people. You're learning how to do them for other people. So in level 2, the way that I break that class down is that you have a class and a lab for every lesson. So if you come into my class and sit down, and we're going to learn how to do a journey, let's say a journey on past life regression. You're going to take a past life journey for yourself first in class. Then you're going to come back and take a lab where you're going to have a buddy, where you're buddied up with another person, and then you're going to do a journey for that buddy and take a past life journey for them, so that you can practice on another person, so that you're learning now how to apply what you've learned and apply to others. And then level 3, my advanced class, is called the enlightenment path, the enlightened path. That one is because now you're reaching more of your enlightenment. You're stepping more into your shamanic path. And where do you want to go with that? How are you going to perform ceremonies? How are you going to connect with the community at large? How are you going to be in right relationship? We call that Aini. Aini means right relationship. How are you going to be in right relationship with the earth and the spirits and the divine and the stars and everything in between, right? So it's a path that you take, and this exploration is something that is revered in almost every single shamanic practice, that there is some type of a journey that you take where you learn about yourself, and then you learn about the universe at large. So I hope that that makes sense. Once again, if you would like to learn more about the beautiful spiritual practice of shamanism, I do have a class called Intro to Shamanism on the Wisdom Divine Mystery School. I'll go ahead and link that in the description below. You can click on that and learn more. You can take more classes in my shamanic path core classes. We have working with spirit and energy is class number 1. Class number 2 is stepping into a spiritual path. Class number 3 is intro to shamanism. And class number 4 is shamanic journey basics. If you want to learn how to take that journey and connect with your spirit guides and tap in using sound frequency and drumming and learning about the science behind shamanic trance and gamma and theta waves and brain waves and things like that. I go further into that in that particular course on the Wisdom Divine Mystery School. And if you'd like to receive your actual certification in shamanic training, I offer that. As of the time of this video, we are beginning another level 1 starting in December. This is 2023. We're in November right now, so you don't have much time. So if you'd like to join that, please contact me so we can get you signed up, and you can also get those core classes as your prerequisites done. Even if you have to do them at the same time when you're first beginning the class, we could do something like that. Those classes are required in order for you to receive your certification. So if it's interesting to you, you want to go through that, I suggest that you definitely reach out to me soon. We have a lot of successful students that have gone on now. They are practicing their own shamanic practice. They're adding shamanic journeys and sessions into their Reiki practices, their coaching practices, different things that they were already doing, and they're using them in their existing businesses now. So I'm very, very excited and happy and proud of my students who have gone on to do these things. So reach out to me if that's something that you would like to learn more about. And next video, I will go into more of what is the role that the shaman or shamanic practitioner plays in shamanic spiritual practices. So tune in for that if you want to if you want to watch that video when it comes out. Again, click subscribe, leave some comments below. Did you like this video? Do you want to learn more? Does it feel like I answered your questions? You have more questions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to look out for any of my events, following me on Instagram and Facebook are the best way to always know what I have going on and what's coming up next. Please do feel free to follow me on both of those. And also you can join my email list, and that will also be linked below. If you do that, you get a freebie of 25 manifestation tips from me as a PDF download that you can get for that as well. All right, that's it for today's video. Signing off. Wisdom out.